We love you, Abu. We do. We love you, Abu. We do. Oh, Abu, we love you.
Nalazimo se u Adelaidu u South Australiji u fudbalskom klubu Beograd, a ja sam Milan Sofranic, kao što je jedan čovjek pre 10 minuta rekao, jedna cigla ovoga kluba, također i moja kompletna familija koja je i danas danju tu povezana. Imaćemo kratak intervju sa trenerom prvog tima Beograda i posle toga ćemo isto imati intervju sa predsjednikom fudbalskog kluba Beograd i mislim da će vam biti jako interesantno pošto po prvi put posle 5 godina izlazi jedna velika maskota kluba da izađe sa igračima na teren. Evo, nalazimo se pri ulasku u klubske prostorije. Na zidu može da vidite prvi grb sa kojim je klub počeo i kako su se grbovi menjali u toku godina, pošto smo morali da promenimo ime sa Beograda na White City Warriors, jer je tako fudbalski savez zahtevao. I onda, boreći se da vratimo svoje ime, mi smo vratili i vratili smo sve naše grbove nazad, tako da došli smo do zadnjega koji je ovde. Imam veliku čast i jako sam ponosan, jer moj sin je jedan taj koji je dizajnirao ovaj novi grb za klub. Evo, sada smo ušli u klubske prostorije koje su napravljene pre jedno 8 godina. Nove prostorije, preko $3 miliona su samo prostorije koje su napravljene. Na zidu isto imamo dve velike zastave gde smo osvojili prvenstvo 2 godine uzastopce. Nažalost, zastava koju smo osvojili pre 2 godine nije tu zato što nije ispeglana, tako komotno mogu da kažem, ali nažalost samo ne možete da osjetite miris ćevapa, ali zato je naš kameraman Gavro to osjetio jako dobro. I know you personally, but could you please introduce yourself to our viewers?
Yeah, hi, my name's Adrian Deloya, head coach of FK Belgrade. This is my 3rd year at the club. So yeah, it's been a really good 3 years. I've really enjoyed the culture at the club. Being Italian background, very similar European background, and I know FK Belgrade since I was a kid, and excellent culture, and I've felt it since the day I got here. Yeah.
Adrian, you say you come from an Italian background. How do you find the Serbian supporters?
Excellent when we're winning, and very passionate all the time, which is excellent. Like, it's something I'm used to, especially from where I'm from, Napoli, the south of Italy. We're very passionate as well. Now, the supporters are excellent. Look, we get probably the biggest crowds in the league, so that's exciting, and we get a lot of away fans come to our away games as well, which is something that doesn't really happen at this level too much. Yeah.
Adrian, what are your plans as a head coach for the club or for the team for this season? And obviously we made the finals last year after so many years, but can you just give us a brief rundown what you think and what are your plans for the future?
Yeah, look, when I came here, I said to the club, 29 years without playing finals in the top division in South Australia is too long. And I realised 7 years was in the state league, but that was my first aim. And we finished 4th last year, which was a good achievement, but we want to go higher. We want to play in the Australia Cup. I think this club being on the national stage, playing potentially against A-League clubs, I can already imagine playing a Melbourne Victory here and this place will be bouncing. So the Australia Cup's a big one for me. But for me, I'm ambitious. I want to win everything. I think the club hasn't won the title since 1993, I think it is.
94.
94. So that's my aim, and that should be our whole club's aim, yeah.
You being extremely young as a coach in the National Premier League, how do you find yourself now? You've been an assistant coach for many years, but now as a head coach.
Yeah, look, I was assistant coach for 3 years at Campbelltown City, one of the biggest clubs in the state, under Michael Matriciani, who's Melbourne City's women's head coach. So really good learning. He gave me a lot of leeway, empowered me a lot. So I was ready for this. And a lot of people have asked, how was the transition? And it was seamless for me. So, especially third year now, I'm feeling very comfortable. I've the third year with the same staff as well, assistant coaches, John, Matthew. The club's in a really, really good place on and off the field, yeah.
Now, what can you tell us? What has the club got in the plans in the future as seniors and juniors?
Juniors, we've just been given a $2.5 million grant to upgrade our junior facilities. I think there's talk of a synthetic pitch at Fulham Gardens, which is really, really important for those winter months. We've just finished a brand new building at Fulham as well, which has got kitchen facilities and things like that. And look, our facilities here are really, really good. Every year the club's improving the pitch, spending a lot of time in the off-season improving the pitch. But, I have everything I need here. And I think the juniors are growing every year by that 10 to 20%. So, we have Michael Jakobsen, who a lot of people would know has played Champions League, played for Denmark national team as the junior technical director at the club. This is his third year as well, and he's brought that level of professionalism. And Michael and I work really close together to get the club all trying to play that same way of football. Yeah.
Would you be able to give us a quick rundown for our viewers of your players that you've got in your squad at the moment? We know you've got a couple of good boys in there. They all gel very well from what we can see so far, but can you give us a bit of a rundown on individuals and also as a team?
Yeah, look, honestly, the key thing for me was keeping the culture of this club, which is a Serbian club. So our leadership group, we have four or five Serbian background boys that have been juniors at the club. Our club captain, Andoni's half Serbian, Ninko Beric, Serbian as well, and they've been juniors at this club. So they're, the foundation of our team. And then we've added two internationals from Italy, Lorenzo Boselli and Marco Torriani. Excellent experience, both played in Italy, 4th division, and played in America as well, college soccer, which is a good level. And then we have a sprinkling of some really good local players. The two Konstantopoulos brothers, who Kristen and Jason have both been in the Adelaide United system. Anthony Trimboli's played in the A-League. Cooper Nunn has been through the Adelaide United system. So, yeah, we're getting some experience as well with local players, but it's very important for me to have that young Serbian background players in our squad, because that's what this club's about. That's what the fans want to see. And we have some good ones coming through the under-18s and reserve squads as well.
Adrian, thank you very much. Don't want to take any more of your time because I believe you are running a few minutes late, so you might get a fine from the players.
No problem.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Milan. Thank you.
Ninko, good timing. The coach has just mentioned you as one of the captains of the club. Please tell us a little bit about Adrian, how you find him as since he's come to the club, and please give us a bit of a rundown of what you think of our club and of our team at the moment.
Yeah, obviously Adrian came in a couple of years ago, and obviously we didn't make finals before he came to the club in about 20 years. He's obviously changed the culture of the club. A bit more of a winning mentality, which we haven't had over the last few years. The club's a very proud club. Obviously there's a lot of supporters that come out each week. obviously Serbian background. So yeah, but it's very exciting and it's a good club. So yeah.
What about your new teammates? Adrian's mentioned a few boys, which one of them is also a vice captain. Italian background, so you obviously know who I'm talking about. Give us a bit of a rundown on them two boys.
The captain, sorry?
The Italians.
Oh, the Italians. Lorenzo and Massimo?
Yeah.
Is that who you are?
And Marco.
And Marco, yeah. Obviously, Adrian's of Italian background, and so the 3 boys we brought in. They obviously bring a lot to the club. They're a good bunch of boys off the park, but they obviously show their quality on the park as well.
And your unity as a team, how do you find that in the last few years?
It's definitely gotten a lot closer. There was a bit of disconnect a couple of years ago between the club and the players. But, Adrian's obviously done well to bring that sort of together. Very good.
Trick question for you. How far are you away?
Oh, geez, I'm about probably 5 weeks away from running, so nearly there. But it's been a long battle, but getting there slowly, which is good.
Anything else that you can give us on the inside of what happens with you boys and how you get together and things like that? Or?
That's better kept to ourselves. I won't disclose much further.
Thank you very much and go enjoy your evening.
Beautiful, thank you. I'm Ninko Beric, Vice Captain of Belgrade.
This is a little bit strange, father interviewing your son, but can you please tell us your name and what you do around the club, please?
I'm Dusan Sofranic, and I do a bit of everything around the club. Coach juniors, coach seniors, coached amateurs, ran the amateurs for a while, organised the graphics that you see here. Yeah, a little bit of everything.
Can you just take us back? I did explain to him about your late grandfather, but can you just say a few words how you were growing up here and what was happening when your grandfather was here and when I was here as well and when the whole family was involved?
You probably said I used to sleep on chairs during committee meetings. I was very young when my dad was here, but growing up, I've always been around the club. And then when we were all involved in senior football, I don't know, it's a bit of a family club. There's not much really more to say, I guess.
It is a family club, but do you just want to express a little bit when I worked for Adelaide United and how you were involved with me at Adelaide United?
When my dad worked at United, I was a kid, maybe like 12, 13. He was the kit man, so pretty much was around professional football ever since I was a kid. It was a great involvement being around senior players, senior football, and especially the professionalism, and try to implement a lot of that here, what we learned along the way there, I guess.
Can you just touch a little bit on what's happening with the juniors at Fulham Gardens? We had a few words from Adrian, but can you tell us, because you had a bit of involvement and input in that as well? Yeah,
well, at Fulham Gardens, our junior training ground, since we've been there for now, I think 4 or 5 years. I think at the end of this season, or for the beginning of this junior season, the club rooms finally will be done. So there's a club room, 4 change rooms, full bar, kitchen, everything. So finally our juniors on Sundays can trade and have something at their games, I guess.
And Adrian did drop a bomb that $2.5 million has been brought into the club. Do you think that is going to be spent on a pitch, or is that going to be spent on upgrading the whole facility?
I think a little bit of everything. I think we're going to push to get an artificial pitch there at the ground, just because of the wear and tear and the amount of kids that we've got, and it keeps growing every year. The grass just can't uphold the traffic that's on there. And another bonus is it's a good input for the club, because during the off season you can rent it out to other people and get a bit of revenue into the club while it's not doing anything, I guess.
Thank you very much for your interview. I hope that wasn't too bad.
Thanks. Ja sam Dušan Sofranic, ovo je naš Beograd.
Hi, Maya.
Hi.
Do you want to tell us your full name and what your involvement or your family involvement is in the club?
My name's Martin Popovic, and my involvement in the club is my dad is obviously the president of the club, so that's why he's got us all into it.
So all 3 of you are involved in the club?
Yes.
And what about Mum?
Not really.
Is there anything else you want to tell us?
No.
Why?
Secrets, safer secrets, so no.
Beautiful.
Hi, I'm Andrija Popović, zvani Buco, and I'm the president of FK Belgrade.
President of FK Beograd, Andrew Buco Popović. Please, can you tell us something for TV Australia, who are here visiting this weekend in Adelaide? Can you please tell us a bit about the club and things that are getting done around the club, and a bit about the coach and players and so on and so forth?
Yeah, thanks, Milan. I suppose we'll update everyone. We're building a new club room and facility for our juniors there at Fulham, and it should be finished in the next 4 to 6 weeks. That way we'll have a training facility both for the juniors and for the seniors, so that's really good for the club. Currently we're in the NPL. We're tracking really well. We've got a decent side, and I think we'll challenge probably for the finals this year. Other than that, we're just trying to grow in numbers in kids, and provide a place where people from the Serbian community can come and enjoy themselves, eat some food, and hang around.
I mentioned earlier when I got interviewed that the younger generation, you've got a few younger generation kids around you, and can you pass on a message to maybe around whole of Australia to the younger generation what they should do and how they should get involved?
Well, I think we all know that previously the club was founded in 1949, and for years we've had the same type of Serbs helping volunteers, generally over the age of sort of 60, and they sort of put in all the hard yards. But what we're seeing here at Belgrade is we've got a lot of young people ranging from the age of 16 to 70, obviously, putting in, involved in social media. We've got a mascot here. Some of the youngsters are, doing the mascot here. So I think for the clubs to be sustainable for the next 20, 30 years, the young generation needs to step up and involve themselves within their community. And particularly if obviously they don't have too much interest in going to, obviously doing folklore and other things with the Serbian community, sport is probably the best way to involve yourself as a person. So, I encourage all kids, particularly from our background, to go and help their clubs all around Australia, help them get better and use new ideas, because clearly the world is changing and the younger generation is probably better at a lot of things than what the older generation is. So we need them involved, I think.
We had senior coach Adrian drop a bombshell that $2.5 million have been secured for the club. Can you elaborate a little bit on that?
Yeah. Well, so obviously Labor, the young Greek girl Aria Balkas pledged $2.5 million to Belgrade if Labor won. Luckily for us, Labor obviously won, and Labor's obviously been quite strong here in South Australia. But that $2.5 million is going to go a long way. So we're going to, at the Fulham facility, we're going to put an artificial pitch in. That way we've got 12 months of the year ability to train. So we'll have one grass, one pitch there. And hopefully with some leftover money, we might try and obviously ask the government if we can engage here and maybe put a 3-on-3 basketball court, maybe a paddleball court, so the people off season can come here, still hang out at the club, and obviously drink and eat and be here, all year round.
You mentioned paddleball. I know that you play every week with the assistant coach of the 36ers, Marko Malina. Can you tell us a little bit about that and how that's going, because you play with close friends?
Yeah, look, our number one ticket holder for Belgrade is Dejan Vasiljevic, the captain of the LA 36ers. Obviously, there's a lot of Serbs there. They've got Igor Cvetkovic there as well, as from overseas, is an assistant coach. And you've got Marko Malinovic, who's obviously the assistant coach in the Serbian Olympic team, as well as running the under-18 Serbian national team, youth team. So they're involved here, obviously, at the club. They come and watch whenever they're not playing. They're playing, obviously, tonight, so they're not here. But, being of Serbian background, Serbians gravitate to Serbians. And doesn't matter what level you are in sport, everyone wants to eat mixed grill and have a shot of rakia. So that's what we're all about. So, they're engaged. So we play paddleball because it's a craze in Europe. We play every week, so we all hang out with each other, and it's strange because obviously I'm born here, but I just basically hang around with our people, because it's just, I think our people are the best people in the world. So there's no questions about that. So clearly, that's why we do it.
You mentioned mixed grill. One of our cameramen, he just had dinner, but as soon as you rocked up, he goes, "I got to have chivapa." Is there still chivapa happening?
There's still chivapa here. We always order 300 more than normal because we've always had complaints it always runs out. I just say to people, just stop eating. So that's probably the best way of of leaving chivapa here. But no, look, it's a dish. All the English people, we're playing Playford Patriots. They're an English-backed club. They all came early to eat chivapa because obviously they eat quiche and pies and stuff. So mixed grill is sort of, everyone loves eating mixed grill food. So, and Belgrade entertains well. We always give food for the opposition players and their supporters after the game. So everyone hangs out. So it's a traditional club, and I think we're very hospitable people, the Serbs. So I think they all know that.
Thank you very much. Hopefully we get 3 points tonight.
Let's hope so.
Imam veliku čast i zadovoljstvo da vam predstavim gospodina Dragana Oljaču koji je bio trener u našem fudbalskom klubu Beogradu. Dragane, da li bih hteo nešto kratko samo da nam kažeš o tvom dolasku u Australiju, u klub i sve šta si radio oko kluba?
Pa ja sam bio iz Hrvatske, došao sam u Srbiju, bio sam tamo 5 godina, bio sam u Obiliću godinu dana asistent prvog trenera, Bošnjaka, onda ovdje sam došao 2001. godine i počeo sam da radim sa omladincima 2002. 2003. smo bili prvaci South Australije i under 19, ispod 19 godina. I kasnije sam još trenirao sam malo amatere i tako.
A hoćeš nam samo reći ukratko tvoju fudbalsku karijeru?
Ja sam počeo da igram sa 14 godina u INI iz Siska, to je bio od firme gdje sam radio, kad sam učio zanat i kasnije sam počeo da radim. Tu sam igrao 7 godina. Poslije toga sam otišao u Baniju iz Gline, tu sam bio godinu i po dana. Od 82. do 87. sa igrao sam u Segesti iz Siska, Republička liga je to bila onda.
Kako možeš da nam opišeš tvoje događaje u Obiliću i ako bi samo mogao nešto kratko da nam kažeš kako ti se svidilo ovdje u Australiji što se tiče fudbala? Znam da nisi bio najzadovoljniji, ali pošto si došao iz nekog drugog okruženja, da li bi mogao samo ukratko nešto da nam objasniš?
Znaš šta, u Obiliću je bilo okej. Arkan je bio gazda i znalo se ko šta radi. Razumiješ? Nije bilo problema. Imali smo i dobar tim, jako dobar tim je bio. Poslije toga kad je otišao Bošnjak, došao je Lacmanović i bio sam s njim isto 6 mjeseci, sa Bošnjakom 6. Poslije Bošnjaka, Lacmanovića došao je Karasi i doveo sebi pomoćnika, to je jedan stariji gospodin bio, baš gospodin. Tu smo mi bili još jedno mjesec dana, nas trojica što smo bili sa Lacmanovićem i Bošnjakom pomoćnici, nismo ništa radili i Šeki je bio direktor, mi pitamo Šeki šta da radim. Kaže, momci, ostanite tu, primate plate, mi nismo htjeli, mi smo otišli i u međuvremenu sam došao ovdje. To je malo velika, razlika je velika ovdje, kako se zove, fudbal i tamo. Ja kad sam došao ovdje, ovi momci što sam ih trenirao, pitali kako bi mi uspjeli tamo u Zvezdi, Partizanu, Obiliću. Rekao, momci, vi ste dobri igrači za ove uslove ovdje, ali razlika je velika, rekao, mnogo kod nas u manjim sredinama, čak i u selima, ima igrača vaših kvaliteta koji ne mogu da igraju, moraju da rade. Tako da, ovdje je sad okej, zadovoljno sam, našao sam se fino i svaku nedelju imamo moje matorce, igramo, sad tako da.
Hvala lepo što ste dali intervju za TV Australiju.
Hvala i vama, živjeli prijatno.
Sa mnom je večeras Ninoslav Bezbrdica, dečko iz Melburna koji je završio sticajem okolnosti u Adelaidu. Ninoslave, dobro večer.
Dobro večer, bolje vas našli. Da, upravo tako, nekad u Melbourneu, sad u Adelaidu ovdje. Navijamo za naš Beograd, za fudbal, za druženje.
Dobro, ti si bivši igrač Bijelih Orlova, ljudi te znaju po tome. Koliko si godina proveo u Bijelim Orlovima?
Pa ja sam došao 98. godine u Dandenong i odmah sam tamo priključio se Bijelim Orlovima i to je bila jedna jako dobra ekipa, baš smo bili onako mnogo kvalitetniji, ali sticajem nekih okolnosti nismo pokazali svoj puni kapacitet, ali jedno jako lijepo vreme, jedno druženje sa mnogo dobrim ljudima, fudbalerima.
Ko je bio trener te godine?
Mislim da ovako, imali smo, sad će neki da mi pomognu, Bobby,
Ako se njega ne sjećaš, koga se sjećaš?
Bio je, ko je još bio trenera?
Je li vam Lujić bio? Nije Lujić bio ranije?
Nije, on nije bio, joj Bože dragi, sad mi je mozak stao.
Dobro, sjetit će se.
Da, sjetit će se naši, bit će tu vjerojatno komentara. Mnogo godina je prošlo, nemojte da zamjerite.
To je ekipa bila sastavljena uglavnom od ovih, da kažemo, nove migracije koja je došla tih 90-ih godina uglavnom.
Da, znači uz naravno neke igrače koji su tamo bili kao što su Zlatko i Milan, Siniša Đohadić, Igor Mandić koji je ovdje imao sticajem okolnosti priliku da igra, znači sjajni neki igrači, kao što smo rekli, Siniša Čulebrk, on je baš tad prešao u South Melbourne, mnogo dobar fudbal, mnogo dobro druženje je bilo.
Baš mi je drago da smo se sreli ovako
I meni.
Ja bih rekao na kraj sveta ovdje u Adelaide.
Jeste. Lijepo. Mislim, pa zato fudbal i služi to druženje, ta neka prijateljstva ostaju i uspomena.
Reci mi, jesi li danas uključen u neku fudbalsku organizaciju ili igraš fudbal možda?
Pa igram, ja i dalje imam 54 godine, još malo. Igram tu sa našim amaterima, igram i preko 35. Meni je fudbal u krvi, moja žena bi vam to mogla možda bolje da objasni, ali da, i dalje guramo.
Dobro, pa ajde guraj dokle god možeš.
Hoćemo, ako Bog da, samo zdravlje nek služi i idemo dalje.
Ajde jedan pozdrav za našu ekipu iz Melbourna, molim te.
Veliki pozdrav za sve moje prijatelje, drugare, fudbalere, budite živi i zdravi, pozdravlja vas Ninoslav Bedurić.